Welcome to Connected, coming from our Toowoomba studio. Well, coming up on the program, we've got some great guests lined up for you, including Bonnie and Tom from our USQ Music School, also resident advisor Liam Tobin, and we're on location with Red Frogs and Teen Challenge. But first, let's check out what's happening in town.
British electronic music quartet Rudimental will be in town on Friday, September 20 at the Eatons Hill Hotel and Function Centre. The hit song Feel the Love hit 3 times platinum last year, and latest release Waiting All Night was in the Australian top 10 for a number of weeks. The Gangsters Ball is back on at the Tivoli for another year. That's Saturday, September 21. The event's a fully themed night of interactive and entertainment of the 1930s and 40s, featuring the biggest names in Australian and international cabaret, sideshow vaudeville, magic, burlesque and big band swing. The Brisbane Sings concert is back bigger and better than before for another year at the QPAC Concert Hall, Saturday, September 21. 500 masked voices will sing some of the world's most recognised tunes with a power you've never felt before. For a family fun day out, check out the Tambourine Mountain Show being held this Saturday, September 21. Enjoy horse events in the main arena and stay for the fireworks, sample local produce and admire our wonderful exhibits in the beautiful atmosphere and sights, of course, of Tambourine Mountain. And if you haven't checked out the Santos City of Lights event yet, it's worth heading down to South Bank's Cultural Forecourt to see the free nightly shows. Prepare to be moved and mesmerised by a sensational brand new light, laser and special effects, complete with a dynamic soundtrack and even cascading water. Don't forget to stay connected through our website and Facebook page for more events.
Well, my first guests are Bonnie Green and Tom Hurley from USQ Music Department. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And probably most importantly, people have seen you in Toowoomba area with the fabulous Hairspray musical that was on recently in town. How did that go for you?
It was incredible for me. It was my first time being in a large musical production such as that, and my first time working with an orchestra under a musical director. So it's very different from being a solo artist working in an orchestra in a large group, but it was so enjoyable and such a learning experience.
Great. And so for you, piano?
Yes,
and
yes.
In the orchestra pit?
Yes, there are 3 pianos and I was on the 3rd piano part.
Fantastic. And for you, Tom, up there on stage, what was your role?
Yeah, it was Corny Collins. Not a role quite like it, I think. So it was definitely a great experience. First show in Toowoomba, so
Great.
it was good to be out there.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And today you're going to be performing some songs, and we'll get back to that very soon.
Yes.
But for you both, how important has it been to be able to go on this journey, both through the academic side as well as the performance opportunities that come?
Yeah, it's been incredible for me, especially at university. It's such a blessing to be able to study what I love to do. And at USQ, it's such a safe environment, but at the same time, you're working with professional musicians, and they're not only teaching you the music skills that you need, but also the professional skills and the maturity that you need to go into an industry such as the music.
So you're from the local area, but Tom, you've come from elsewhere.
Come from Gladstone, yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely a good experience to, like as Bonnie was saying, with the safe environment, with the professional lecturers, you can make mistakes, I suppose, without a major consequence.
And I guess in that way too, it's stretching your abilities and taking you beyond perhaps what you thought you could do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So what about the future? Any sort of grand dreams and plans that you have? What about for you first, Bonnie?
Yeah, well, for me, Hairspray was such a great experience because since a little girl, I've always dreamed about being in an orchestra or a big band, whether it's on the stage or in the pit. But Hairspray was the first time I'd actually experienced that role, and I absolutely loved it. And it was the first time working with a musical director, and that really interests me, his role. So I went and did some research on what a musical director was, and some other characteristics of the role are being the composer and musical producer of, say, film scores and the repertoire pianist, and those things really, really interest me. So that could be something in the future.
Really kind of helped broaden your horizons, perhaps, that you wouldn't have imagined.
Yeah.
And Tom, on the stage for you?
Yeah, on the stage for me, definitely. Musical theatre's just where I want to be. So, I'm more comfortable in front of 1,000 people than probably here in this studio right now.
Sure,
So,
yes. I understand, but it's the kind of stuff though too that musical theatre has seemed to have got a resurgence, hasn't it?
definitely.
And what's really lovely is that Australians as performers, both musically in terms of the orchestral work as well as performers, are really getting their name out there. I guess most recently with Les Miserables, and seeing that in a film version, but certainly all the Australian lineup there was phenomenal.
Definitely.
It's great.
So for you, the degree, another year or so to go?
Yes, 2 years for me.
Okay.
Yep.
So, and then you can start to explore some of these things you've been talking about.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's brilliant. Well, I certainly wish you all the best. Just quickly before we go, what songs are you performing for us today?
We'll be singing It's Hairspray from the Hairspray musical, one that I did as Corny Collins in the show, and Just Haven't Met You Yet by Michael Bublé.
Okay, look forward to that coming up. But for now, thanks very much for being with us.
Thank you.
And coming up after the break, we'll be finding out more about red frogs. It's happening here in Toowoomba. That's here on Connected. Welcome back. My next guest is Liam Tobin. He's a resident advisor here at USQ Colleges in Toowoomba. And Liam, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, within the college life, I guess it all seems like it's all going to be parties and getting, of course, getting into study naturally. But what is it really like when you come, maybe from a distance to come to the college here? What's it really like?
It's a lot different. Yeah, obviously, you have that initial expectation of parties sort of every night, drinking, having fun, getting to know people. I guess it depends on how the person is. Like, I know when I first started, it was very intimidating sort of experience. I didn't really know anyone on any of the colleges. So it took a bit to actually fit in, but I've always found that they're always such a great group of people that, they're really accepting of anyone that moves on. So
within your role, you're looking at both for the emotional side as well as the academic?
Yeah, it is really a matter of both. The academic side, obviously, sort of out of our training, so to speak. If they do have a problem academic-wise and they do come to us, we're sort of trained to sort of direct them over to student services maybe, so someone who can help them over at the uni.
Sure.
And as for the emotional side, we are trained to obviously help with students if they are struggling. It can be from a range of issues. It might be anxiety from the study, it could be depression. But obviously, if it's out of our area of expertise, we're then trained to sort of, direct them on to student services.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a big issue too, and you have come from another location, and you could be, as I said in the outset, quite away from home. I guess homesickness, even though big boys particularly, and girls probably don't want to necessarily admit it, but I guess that's a real issue.
Yeah, no, I'll admit, this is my third year on college now, and I can't wait till I go home on the holidays. And you do see that with quite a few students. They do struggle, especially during that initial moving in period. Like I said before, you don't know anyone, all your friends are back at home, your family's back at home. I have seen quite a few students that have struggled initially. But, like I said, it's a great group of people. They're really open, they're really friendly. It doesn't take that long to fit in. And
as you mentioned, the support services, the other referrals you've got are on campus anyway, so students have got plenty of help and support. So after the years you've been through uni, you'd recommend college life?
Oh, definitely. I thought high school was fun, but college life has just been, it's another experience that I feel you have to go through if you're doing university particularly. It's something that sort of, I guess it prepares you for later on as well, that sort of that social interaction, getting to know new groups of people entirely, but I'd recommend it, anyone who's considering it.
Fantastic. Well, it's been wonderful to meet you and to hear a bit more about the college life. But I guess, it's always part of movies and those kind of things. But here it is, the reality. So thanks for joining us.
No worries, thanks.
And my thanks to Liam Tobin for joining us. And we go on location now to talk to Michael Petrovic and the Red Frog organisation. Stay connected.
Hi, my name's Michael. I'm from the Red Frogs crew here in Toowoomba, and I want to introduce you to one of my favourite events, the Red Frogs Cafe Crawl.
Frogs Cafe Crawl. What's not to like? Great company, great food, great drinks, and it's just a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I love looking forward to the cafe crawls that the Red Frogs do. It's great to hang out with my friends. The Red Frog people are really awesome. They make it a really great event. We all drink coffee together. It's just a really good time.
Well, fantastic work there for the Red Frogs, what they're doing out there. Now we'll be discussing a very popular part from Artsworks. It is Shakespeare in the Park, and it's with Scott Alderdice. How are you, Scott?
Hi Ashley, I'm well, thanks.
Now, the Shakespeare in the Park has become quite an iconic event. What have you got planned for this year?
This year is The Winter's Tale as the main stage event, plus of course we've got the Glee to be or not to Glee again, or to Glee or not to Glee, which hopefully will double in size this year. But the main stage is The Winter's Tale with the third year actors, as is normal, the main production in the festival.
So people coming in from the Greater Brisbane area, it's in, just to give them an understanding of what to expect, it's Queen's Park?
No, it's moved
Or
up to a much better venue. We put it on campus. And what that means is that we've got a lot more control of the space. And we actually think that it works a lot better. The acoustics are much better. The facilities we're able to control, which are a lot better. The parking is much better. And so, you know, everybody's experience of the event, based on last year, has been much enhanced with that move.
So important to remember, if you've been up before, make sure you remember it's going to be at USQ Toowoomba campus.
Turn left at West Street. Yeah.
That's it, and don't keep going.
Yeah.
So now, in terms of the event, details for the event, do you have prices for the tickets and so on?
Oh, I don't, but I'm sure the box office does. But
Yes.
I think it's around about $30 for an adult ticket,
Sure.
and then back down into the group bookings and concessions and schools rates.
And we'll have all the details up on the website, of course. And people will be able to see students from final year?
Final year acting students, I mean, we pride ourselves in the quality of the productions. We've got very high production values. We've got extremely good lighting and sound facilities. So, you know, you can be sitting 30 and 40 metres sometimes away from the stage, and yet because of the quality of the sound, you can hear the actors breathe. What that means is that we are able to bring, I guess, what I call sort of filmic acting techniques to the actual productions. Most people's experience of Shakespeare, let alone outdoor Shakespeare, is fairly distanced and sometimes fairly confusing. But the evidence of the last 10 years of productions is that we get a large range of people, many of whom have never come to performances before, and they talk about how the production, you know, they wonder, we didn't even realise it was Shakespeare, that it was so accessible, that the story was so accessible, that we enjoyed it so much. So I think a lot of that's got to do with the approach we take to the actual acting techniques that are used, but also to do with the production values.
Fantastic. Look forward to it. Coming up very soon. And don't forget, details for that is up on the website usq.edu.au/artsworks. Coming up next, we'll be on location at Team Challenge with Craig Watson. Stay connected. Welcome back. Team Challenge has been established over a number of decades. Craig Watson gives us the Toowoomba perspective.
Hi, I'm Craig Watson, the Manager of Program Operations for Teen Challenge Queensland. And our mission is to help young people between the ages of 16 and 29 recover from life-controlling issues. Two of our programs in Toowoomba are drug and alcohol rehabs, and also we have a crisis house in Kelvin Grove, Brisbane. We help these young people, firstly in Brisbane it's a crisis house, so that's for young men between 16 and 25 that are struggling with homelessness. So we help them to reconnect back to family, find independent living, help them to get jobs, back into study, that kind of thing. Our two centres in Toowoomba are a men's and women's rehab centre, and it's a 12-month program, live-in. So the young men and women come and stay with us for up to 12 months, and we help them address the issues in their life that have caused them to stumble and fall into addiction.
No, I didn't call you, you called us asking for help, okay? This is one way that we really want to help you guys, okay? Is put some discipline into your life, and it's going to be a good thing. Yeah, it's a bit frustrating at the start, but once you get going, you're going to love it. You're actually going to learn to discipline your life.
Our program is a holistic program. So, you know, we look at the physical, the emotional, and also the spiritual aspects of the young people we work with. So basically a week, there's a number of areas we look at. Study areas, so we do group studies, and the guys and the girls do personal studies that relate to issues they're working through. Another big part of our program is work. So we have a number of afternoons that work duties are done, and that's everything from ground maintenance, mowing, you know, those types of skills are learnt. Another aspect of that is Wednesday Community Day, and our young men and women are out in the community of Toowoomba, and they're giving back to the community, helping in various businesses and organisations where they have the opportunity to give back to the community and also pick up some skills along the way. Another aspect is sport, healthy living. So we have a gymnasium on site where the guys and the girls can do gym. We do quite a bit of sport throughout the week as well. And the spiritual component, you know, we take the guys and the girls to church, and a lot of the program and the material they work through are biblically based. So after a young man or woman has finished our program, we help them transition back into the community. So obviously through the program we identify what work they're interested in, whether they want to go back to school, take on study. We also offer an internship, so that's for young men and women that want to stay on with Teen Challenge for a further 12 months, you know, give back to the centre, and we also put them through a Cert 4 in youth work, and quite often we've seen guys then go on and actually work within the industry. A real area that we need to strengthen as an organisation is aftercare. So we're committed to bringing on a full-time worker that can provide meaningful and intentional aftercare for up to 12 months once a young man or woman leaves our programs. I'm passionate about Teen Challenge because about 13 years ago I was helped by Teen Challenge out of heroin addiction, and you know, since then have basically given my life to this work, to this organisation. So I just love to be able to see young men and young women recover from life-controlling issues and see that life is worth living and help them to reach their potential.
Well, from a great youth organisation to two young performers, Tom Hurley and Bonnie Green are here to perform for us.
What gives a girl power and punch? Is it charm? Is it poise? No, it's hairspray. What gets a gal asked out to lunch? Is it brains? Is it dough? No, it's hairspray. If you take a ride with no can at your side, then your flip will be gone with the wind. But if you spray it and lock it, you can take off in a rocket, and in outer space each hair will be in place. Oh, I take a chance when you get up and dance. If you twist, I insist you use hairspray. Then tell your mother her head she should smother with Ultra Clutch faithfully. So if you're a redhead, a blonde, a brunette, just take my advice and you might just get the only thing better than hairspray. That's me. Forget the milkman, the only thing better than hairspray. That's me. No, what makes a man reach out and touch Ultra Clutch? Oh, if you're a redhead, a blonde or brunette, just take my advice and you might just get the only thing better than hairspray. That's me. The only thing better than hairspray. That's me. Do-wah. Baby, you look like you could use a stiff one. Well, I'm not surprised, not everything lasts. I've broken my heart so many times I've stopped keeping track. Talk myself in, talk myself out. I get all worked up, then I let myself down. Tried so very hard not to lose it. I came up with a million excuses. I thought of every possibility. And I know someday that it'll all turn out, and you'll make me work so we can work to work it out. And I promise you, kid, to give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. I might have to wait, I'll never give up. I guess it's half timing and the other half's luck. Wherever you are, whenever it's right, you'll come out of nowhere and into my life. And I know that we can be so amazing. And baby, your love is gonna change me. And now I can see every possibility. Oh, and I know someday that it'll all turn out, and you'll make me work so we can work to work it out. And I promise you, kid, to give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. They say all's fair, oh, in love and war, but I won't need to fight it. We'll get it right, we'll be united. And I know that we can be so amazing. And baby, your love is gonna change me. And now I can see every single possibility. And I know someday it'll all turn out, and we'll work to work it out. Promise you, kid, to give so much more than I get. Oh, you know it'll all turn out, and you'll make me work so we can work to work it out. And I promise you, kid, to give so much more than I get. I just haven't met you yet. I just haven't met you yet.
Thanks very much. That was Bonnie Green and Tom Hurley. And that is all the time we have on the program today. My thanks to Liam Tobin, also the teams from Red Frogs and Teen Challenge, and also to Scott Alderdice. Keep in touch with us at www.connectedtv.com.au. Until next week, stay connected.